Welcome back to J Tendencies. I am your host, Jay Suave.
And I am J Reese.
And Jarius, we have seen one of the dunks of the year, upcoming Anthony Edwards. And I know we talked about him being the face of the NBA a couple weeks ago. And it was so crazy that this dunk literally left both players injured and so that he dislocated his finger. If we're
Yeah.
being honest, I feel like I could do that to you.
Bro, I'm not gonna sit here and take this disrespect,
Bro,
but
all I'm saying is one on one, Jerry's not beating me at the rim.
bro, Cap. Bro, I'm working on my Kyrie finishes, bro. I'm getting to the
Bro, you
basket,
is
getting my layups.
not Kai.
Bro, I'm literally him, bro.
Bro, you are
But
not Kai, bro.
and
Speaking of Kai, the left-handed game winner,
game
bro,
winner, oh my goodness,
that
bro.
was insane. Over Jokic too.
Bro, Kyrie Irving has been one of my favorite, if not my favorite point guards in the league for a long time now. No matter what's going on off the court, bro, on the court is just a dog. Whenever he's healthy, he's a dog. And there's nothing he can't do. He can finish, he can shoot, bro, with the left for the game, bro, going laterally towards the other sideline. And bro said it was just it was a work of art,
Smooth
bro.
like butter, bro.
Like
Smooth like butter. And it's just fun because he's in Dallas too, so it literally gives more of a reason to it gives him more of a reason to like him more.
that gives
Like,
me less of a reason to like him because I hate the Mavericks.
bro,
This is
for
why I hate
what?
Luca because he's on the Mavericks. Like the only reason why I like the Mavericks somewhat right now is because of Kyrie Irving and whatever team Kyrie Irving's on, I'm always gonna be a fan of. So that was just crazy. And we were talking about Ant's dunk because Ant's dunk was probably dunk of the year, probably dunk into the last few years. I think it was just a
Oh
crazy
yeah.
dunk over John Collins. But let's not forget about Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves got a first up close first row experience to what was his name? What was his name? I forgot his
What?
name. The dude that
I
dunked over Austin Reeves.
Oh my goodness. I forgot because he jumped right over him.
And they asked him about it after the show. He's like, "You don't want to know about but my look what it looked like from my end. Like I don't want to look like I've seen the pictures. I've seen the pictures. I know what it looked like from your end."
Jalen Johnson. Ooh,
Jalen
I'm
Johnson.
the picture is
Bro.
crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, bro.
So we get one of the faces of the NBA dunking on a person that normally be dunking on people, and you have one of the better role players in the league getting a face full of Jalen Johnson.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, Austin Reeves, you're gonna have to get that back in blood.
But
Cause
Austin Reeves
ain't
ain't jumping
no
up
way.
there. He can't get that back. He gonna have to drop him or something. I don't know what he has to do, but he can't go out like that.
Austin Reeves got to get in the lab for real, for real. What was it go? Back. I want to go back to Ant. He was talking about how this was his favorite dunk that he's done or dunked on somebody. He said it was one of his favorite, and I know I'll never forget the time where he dunked on. I forget who he dunked on the Raptors, but it was his rookie year. I'm pretty sure it was in the bubble. And whenever that happened, I was like, "Oh my goodness, this man is insane." It's like this man literally is not human. You
Yeah,
know?
and then you see like a couple weeks ago him getting a game-winning block, chase down block, where his head
Yes,
touches the
bro.
rim. Bro
This
is just
man
an
jumps like
insane
25 feet, bro.
Bro is just an insane athlete, bro. And whenever the Wolves play Dallas in Dallas, we gotta go see that game, bro. We
No, for
gotta go
sure.
see that game. We gotta go see Ant play.
I've seen him play once. It was either my fresh it was either a year ago or 2 years ago, but I definitely saw Ant play. But it was like it wasn't like this year where he out here getting 32 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 blocks, and a steal on a night where Cat and Rudy Gobert aren't even playing. And
Hmm.
this team's sitting at 47 and 21 right now. They're gonna play the 47 and 21 Denver Nuggets. Either I'm pretty sure it's tonight or tomorrow. And I'm gonna give my thoughts on it, but I kind of want to hear your perspective. The West is a tight race right now.
Hmm.
You got Oklahoma City, Denver, and you have Minnesota. You got other teams at the bottom who necessarily aren't even that far from being up in the West. So I wanna see who do you think can make a run in the postseason, or do you think it's gonna be the Nuggets again?
Real Realistically, I do see the Nuggets doing it again. Personally, I want to see the Clippers make a run because I want to see Paul George go ahead and get a ring. And the only thing with the Clippers is that they're inconsistent whenever they're able to lead. We see them drop a lot of big leads so far this season. And then when you're going against really good teams in the playoffs, like the Nuggets and the Wolves and the Thunder, that's something that's gonna catch up to you and bite you in the butt. And
Yeah,
then you have a bunch of all-stars on that team, a bunch of superstars. You have Russell Westbrook, you have James Harden, you have Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. But the key issue with these players, because they're all really good when they're healthy, but being healthy is the issue. Denver,
yeah,
they do a really pretty good job of staying healthy around the playoffs. So if they're able to stay healthy, I do see the Nuggets going make another run at the chip. But personally, if it's like those three teams, I definitely think I want to see the probably the Oklahoma Thunder make a run because Oklahoma Thunder, I really like that team, that young core. I really like Shea, one of my favorite players in the league. Ant is probably my favorite young player in the league, but I just think that the Nuggets and Thunder have a bit of more of a step over the Wolves right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do make a run, but I just don't see it this year when you have teams like that in the race.
yeah. Most definitely, and that's mainly because you got. I mean, it's experience. You know,
Hmm.
you got this Nuggets team who has already won their championship. And earlier in the season, you were like, they're sitting at like 4 or 5. Who's gonna know if they get back up there? And they made it back up there. They're second seed right now. They won tonight. Actually, I just looked. They ended up beating the Timberwolves tonight, so they're sitting at
Hmm.
48-21, 2 games away from 50 games. And I want to go back to the Clippers, and they're sitting at the fourth seed. They lost their last two, but I think they should get. They're gonna be on track a little bit later. But the thing is with that they're right there with the Pelicans too. And then after that fifth seed, it's like 3 games back. So most definitely y'all are gonna be where I won't say y'all because you're not a Clipper fan,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
the Clippers will definitely be a top 5 seed. I think so.
Hmm.
And it really just depends. If they could, they probably won't make it up to 3 because they're 5 games back.
Hmm.
But that 4 or 5 matchup, if the Pelicans and the Clippers can stay there, is gonna be a good matchup. I'm
Hmm.
telling you. But I'm thinking the Nuggets take it too. The Nuggets are gonna take the West, and it makes me so mad because I need Tatum with his ring, bro.
I
I
don't.
just don't think I just don't think it happens if Jokic is back in the finals. It's just
Hmm.
crazy to think about because this man is insane in the playoffs, you know.
Hmm.
But we're gonna switch leagues. We're gonna go over to some free agency news
Hey, before
in
we
the
get into the
NFL.
free agents, bro, we gotta talk about the guy, the
What you
greatest
got?
defensive player of all time, arguably hanging up his cleats. Aaron
Ooh,
Donald
AD. Yeah.
retired after 10 seasons with the Rams. Loyalty, first off and foremost, like really, really difficult to see. But that's like the last few guys that are retired, they've been loyal to the team. Fletcher Cox, Jason Kelsey's retired as Eagles. They played with the Eagles their entire career. Aaron Donald played with the Rams his entire career. And one of the greatest, if not the greatest, defensive player of all time. You see the pictures of him getting quadruple teamed, bro. He have four people blocking this man
And that's the
on
only
the
way you can
millisecond.
block him.
Like that sums up his entire career, bro. Like that's how much attention he's drawing on the football
Yeah.
field. So Aaron Donald, one of my favorite players to ever play the game of football, has not had a sack. Has had a sack against 31 or 30 football teams in the National Football League, but has not had a sack in his entire career against the Philadelphia Eagles. So that Eagles offensive line
Bro.
ain't no joke.
Bro, don't be pulling all that, bro.
But
How many
yeah,
times
what
has he played y'all?
five five times. So
That's not bad, I guess. 5 times out of
mhm.
10
Hey,
years.
yeah,
Especially
hey.
for a team that's not in your division. So
Hmm. But yeah, what do you
but
think about this retiring? How does this make you feel? Because it makes me sad, man. Because an era is really coming to an end right now.
yeah, the era is coming to an end. I honestly thought that he was gonna retire after he won that Super Bowl. And I would have been completely fine with it back then because like after you saw him in back in 2018 where they played the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl, you just see him going back and forth. That's what we've been working for. Like literally so locked in. Like I saw the video the other day whenever he did retire. He's just talking to himself so locked in, and I'm like, bro, this man is a unit. He's just insane, you know?
Hmm.
And he ended up getting what he truly wanted. And by the time he won that Super Bowl, he was already one of the greatest, if not the greatest defensive player to ever grace the game of football. You know?
Hmm.
So honestly, if he would have hung it up right there, I wouldn't have even been mad. And at this point, it was just like wondering, oh well, when is he gonna hang it up? And that was what it was for me.
Hmm.
Yeah, honestly, in my opinion, he probably still had another year left in him.
I feel like
Because,
because he's the thing is he's still at the top of his game. He's never had like a real dip in quality. He's always been at the um top of his game. Always one of the best, always the best D tackle in the league ever since joining the league. So I think that it was just a matter of fact of because it's been 10 seasons. He said he wanted to retire after eight, and eight is when he won that Super Bowl ring. So I think it was just a matter of fact of he knows he can do this longer, but he doesn't want to risk the injury aspect because right now he's pretty much getting off, off a pretty healthy career. 10 years, not didn't have any real substantial injuries to him that will affect him long term. So that was one thing, and the other thing is, does he see himself winning another ring? Because if he doesn't see the Rams, making another push like they did when they won the ring in 2021, um, it's not really he doesn't really have much else to prove because he's proved everything he needs to prove already. So how many like he's a was it 3, 4 time defensive player of the year?
yeah, he's won 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 10 Pro Bowl selections, 8 first team All Pro selections, 111 sacks is the craziest thing.
Ooh.
And a Super Bowl ring just to top it off. And as a defensive tackle, that's about as good as a career you can ask for, you know?
Hmm.
And you sit there, you really admire it because like you'll see stuff like that for defensive ends, but
Hmm.
for defensive tackles, it's like, holy, this guy is the best we've seen. And I know that a lot of people are like, oh, Lawrence Taylor, and I definitely understand that. I don't even know, in my opinion, who I think is better. Never personally saw Lawrence Taylor play,
Hmm.
but I'm telling you,
Is this the
I,
LeBron
yeah,
Jordan debate?
yeah, like
But
the accolades speak loud,
mhm.
and it speaks a lot louder for football because like it's just crazy to think about, bro.
Yeah,
But
it's gonna
Aaron
be
Donald,
crazy not seeing him on the football field next year, and that Hall of Fame class is gonna be crazy, bro.
oh yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
And this upcoming class, I'm excited to see because it's gonna be like guys we grew up on, bro.
Hmm.
We're just gonna be like, dang, like he
We're
retired,
old.
like
We're gonna be the old heads, bro. They're gonna be talking about we're done with the 2010s.
we done with the tens, Unc.
Like, bro, if I get called Unc, I'm punching that kid in the face.
We done with the tens,
Bro, I'd be
Unc,
so heated if someone called me Unc, bro. Like, what you
bro.
mean, Unc?
Bro, I'd be sick if someone called me Unc too and tell me we. Imagine someone telling you, nah, bro, Aaron Donald ain't the best, bro. This has
Bro,
gotta beat it. Gotta be this one guy.
bro, Aaron Rodgers was playing against podcasters, bro. Bro was weak. Like, what do you
Braum was playing against podcasters and OnlyFans.
mean?
That
Like,
would
oh
just
my
be insane,
goodness.
bro. But
But yeah.
but but most definitely, it's sad seeing Aaron Donald go. It's gonna be sad over the next couple years because we're gonna see even more people retire. But I mean, it's really just paving the way for a whole new generation. We're seeing some guys who we already know are gonna make the Hall of Fame in the league right now. So
And like
we're
the thing with the NBA compared to the NFL is when once the NBA, like all those older players do retire, it's gonna be more of a bigger transition period for people to get used to that because like the generations is just so different. So you're gonna have like a lot of fans stop watching the game of basketball. I feel like with the NFL, because like you're more with a specific team than you are with the NBA. Even though you do have your specific NBA team, you'll follow your favorite players around. Like I'll follow LeBron around, or if
yeah,
like Curry ever left, or our friends would follow Curry around or whatever. With the NBA, NFL, you have your one team, so you have all these players going onto your team and leaving your team. So you're always getting that revolving door of who's a star on your team now and who's going to be the next star on your team. So it's more easier to transition into that next phase of the NFL once your favorite players retire, but it's still like crazy to think about all our favorite players retiring.
yeah. Because in like the NBA, whenever Jordan retired, we had Kobe, and then Kobe's fifth year in the league, Braun comes in, and then Tim Duncan's in his prime at that point. So we had a
Mhm.
lot of guys that are top 10 players in the NBA all being there at the same time. Us growing up, we're seeing Tim Duncan win rings, we're seeing Braun win rings, we're seeing Kobe win rings, and it's just not the same with football necessarily
Hmm.
because I won't say football is harder,
Hmm.
but it's more it's not more competitive. I think basketball is more competitive than football, but the levels of competitiveness are different, if that
Hmm.
makes sense. You
And
know?
like for
But
football, we spent the last 20 years with the Tom Brady era. Now we're in the Patrick
yeah,
Mahomes era for like another 20 years. So like we really just went into a new phase. So we're already in this new generation already. We just have the like older players still in the league in this new generation.
yeah, and it literally just feels like Brady. Even though we had guys like Breeze, we had guys like Manning, both
Hmm.
Mannings, we had guys like Philip Rivers, Big Ben. Like it literally just got washed by Brady. The NBA
Hmm.
isn't like that because I just named five guys who are winning rings in this past era. And you think about Tom Brady, who won 7 in 20 years, and that was his whole era, you know?
Hmm.
Mainly because he won that division, what, 14 times out of the
Hmm.
20 years, something like that.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy to see. The transition and defense is going to be crazy. I'm wondering who's going to be the next GOAT.
Bro, Jalen
Hopefully, it's some
Carter.
guy that Panthers get. Nah.
Jalen Carter.
Nah.
That's probably gonna
Panthers,
be it's
if you're
probably gonna
hearing
be
this,
a
go ahead
Bosa
and
or
grab
TJ
Chop
Watt, to be
Robinson.
real.
Yeah, but NFL don't be giving TJ Watt his respect.
I don't either.
Swear they don't, bro. I don't either, but like this,
I
I'm
got you.
telling you, stats speak, and I'm just like, bro, the league be doing him wrong, and JJ Watt be knowing it too, cause he be
Mhm.
tweeting, he be like, bro, the NFL y'all suck, bro.
Yeah.
I would have had to retire too, bro. No cap. He's literally gonna have to get like 24 sacks if he
Hmm.
wants to win Defensive Player of the Year, or else it's just gonna be Browns fans talking about double team rate, you know.
Hey, it's Jalen
So,
Carter's defensive player of the year.
but
But
let's not lie.
bro, watch the comeback, bro. Comeback with Vic Fangio. But let's go ahead, head into the free agency signings. No, let's go ahead. Let's talk about the wide receiver specifically first, because there's been a lot of wide receiver moves in the last week. First off, let's start with your boys. Y'all traded for Deontay Johnson from the Steelers. And I'm curious, you have a new wide receiver one now in Carolina. So how do you feel about that move, that signing, that trade?
I'm actually excited for it. We finally got a receiver who can create separation within the defender. He had that bad year where he really couldn't catch anything, but I'm just really hoping that this goes well for Bryce.
Hmm.
And honestly, this is the type of guy that Bryce played with in college. Separators, guys who are fast, shifty, stuff like that. So I'm thinking that it goes well. I was hoping we got more of like a wide receiver one, and I know like during before the Steelers drafted Pickens, it even still didn't feel like Deontay was a wide receiver one, which makes me kind of concerned whenever he'll be in Carolina, because I just don't want it to feel like he's just there on the field and it's just like he's
Hmm.
our one, but we just still got guys just like running around the field. And it's actually like concerning because I don't know if I want to take a wide receiver at 33 or
Hmm.
get like a guy like Chop Robinson on the defensive line, big buff our guys up, you know. But I'm actually excited for the move, and I think Deontay's gonna like Carolina. I think the Steelers benefited from the trade too. But even though we kind of fleeced them, they ended up getting they ended up getting other players. So
Yeah. As
they
a
got
Panther,
Dante Jackson too.
yeah, as a Panthers fan, I definitely think y'all need to boost up that offense a little bit more, even though like y'all really need help on the defensive end. I just think that right now you should go all in on offense just to really help Bryce Young develop and to see what you really have in Bryce Young as a quarterback. So that 33, I know you were talking about trying to y'all need to trade into the first round. No, which is true because there's a lot of really good wide receivers in the first round that are going to be headed out. Xavier Worthy's, who was going to be going to the second round after that combine, he's definitely going to the first round now, and that's a guy you guys could have used on the offensive side of the ball. So definitely, y'all should look into looking moving into the first round for a wide receiver. But let's look at these other wide receiver signings that have happened in the last week. We have Darnell Mooney to the Falcons, Calvin Ridley to the Titans, Curtis Samuel to the Bills, Marquise Brown to the Chiefs, Keenan Allen to the Bears, and Mike Williams to the Jets. Out of all these, who do you think is going to have the biggest impact on their new team?
Most definitely Marquise Brown with the Chiefs. And I say that you have Patrick Mahomes throwing you the ball, and they signed him after letting go of MVS, but he's going to be used in the same way that they used MVS. Elite
Hmm.
speed receiver, catching bombs from Mahomes. I'm excited to see his. I'm excited to see him showcase his skills with the Chiefs because he's one of the guys that can kind of facilitate the game in all aspects. You can put him in the slot, you can put him on the outside. He can affect the game short, medium, or deep.
Hmm.
I feel like him paired up with Rashi Rice is going to be something to see.
Yeah.
Mahomes definitely brings out the best in his receivers, and we're going to see that this upcoming season.
Mhm.
What about you?
Uh, I agree it's gonna be Marquise Brown just because Marquise Brown really struggled in Arizona because we really thought he was gonna have that leap once he left Baltimore into more of a pass heavy offense, but he
Yeah.
really didn't. He really didn't look like that kind of receiver when he went to Arizona. So coming here with Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the league, I definitely think he'll bring another aspect to the offense. That I'm MVS really didn't bring. MVS, I really like MVS, but Marquise Brown is just faster. I think Marquise Brown is better in open space when he has the ball. And I think Marquise Brown does a better job at creating separation on his routes because he's so fast and shifty. So I really think he could, kind of emulate what they had with Tyreek Hill. Marquise Brown doesn't have the best hands, which we've known for a while. He doesn't have the best hands in the leagues. So he will have a few drops, and Chiefs fans are going to be really mad about those drops when they do happen, because I can tell you right now it's going to
Hey,
happen.
they should be used to it from MVS.
Uh-huh. But Marquise Brown, I think his game in Kansas City underneath Andy Reid will remind a lot of people of Tyreek Hill whenever he was there, just because they're both really speedy guys that are really good in open space and good at creating separation. And I think that's gonna really help with that struggling Chiefs offense that they had last year. That wasn't as good as we've come to know from a Patrick Mahomes offense.
Yeah, and I definitely agree. And he wasn't even surprised that the Chiefs went for him because the Chiefs was the same team that tried to go and draft him back in 2019 before the Baltimore Ravens ended up drafting him. And that was the guy that I had in my mock going to the Kansas City Chiefs because they actually wanted him. They toured him, hosted him, everything. And they came on to him strongly whenever he was a free agent. It just ended up working out. And I'm really excited to see it. But one of
Mhm.
the guys that I do not like his signing, Mike Williams with the New York Jets.
I actually like that
And
signing.
bro, I don't like it because like bro, just MetLife Field, bro. He's gonna
Okay.
get hurt week one, bro.
Like, I get you on that, but like the thing with Mike Williams, I like seeing the upside with Mike Williams because every time he's on the field, I really like his gameplay. I really
He's
love,
never on the field though.
but when he is, he's such a dog. Last year he was hurt. The 2 years before that, he was struggling to stay on the field, but he was on the field a significantly longer amount of time than he was in his other years. Excuse me. I think he did a really great job at showing his skill set when he was on the field. He's a really great deep ball threat. Every time watch the Chargers game, they threw it up to Mike Williams, and he always seemed to come down with the ball. And I just love that about his game. So if he's able to stay healthy with the Jets as their number two wide receiver, because he's not going to be number one over Garrett Wilson, right? So him being that deep threat that the Jets need, connecting with Aaron Rodgers, it's going to be insane. Like, I know injury is going to be a big issue, especially with MetLife, the worst stadium in the worst field in the league. But I'm really optimistic of what he was bringing to that Jets offense.
Yeah, and I definitely get that. I just really like after seeing Aaron Rodgers get hurt on like the third play of the game, bro, and then just seeing people get injured all year. There was one guy from Buffalo who said he doesn't even want to play in MetLife anymore because the last two times he played there, he got injured for the season both years. He's like,
Hmm.
I don't even want to be there anymore. And it's literally like, bro, you're an injury prone guy and you're gonna play for the most injury prone
Yeah.
stadium. I guess I just don't understand. Another deal that I didn't like, Jerry Judy, highway
Hmm.
robbery.
Yeah, that was a crazy extension.
The Browns ended up
He
trading for him and he
he
signed
didn't
a
even deserve it yet.
3 year.
I feel
I
like
know
because
I'm about
this
to
was
talk
a
about that, but
you go ahead,
he
you go ahead, you go ahead.
he signed the 3 year deal, 58 million, 41 guaranteed at signing. And then I literally remember he tweeted out like as soon as it happened, he was like, "Thank you, Jesus, for sending me and my family, not sending up me and my family, but basically just saying that." And I was like,
It really
"That's
was
real.
Jesus. Mhm.
That's real. That was really Jesus for real." But yeah, to me, this is highway robbery. And if you're a wide receiver on an NFL team right now, you should be calling your agent. And which is why I really wish that like some team would have worked out something with T Higgins, because oh boy is that man gonna want money now after this. And like even if it was the Bengals, if it was Jets, Panthers, whoever would have made a deal with them, I just wish they would have done it before this happened. And it just seems like a Cleveland Browns thing to do. Take a guy who comes from a bad team who needs to prove something this year and pay him all this money before he's even proved anything, you know?
This was really gonna be like his make it or break it year because
Yeah.
like he was really struggling with the Broncos, and you were looking at him as your number two receiver to take the load off of Amari Cooper. Then you're gonna pay him all this money for something he has not proven yet. Like we get it, he's really good at running routes, but is he gonna be able to catch the ball when he's getting on one of those routes? Is he gonna be able to um is he going to be able to make moves and get yardage after the catch? You know, that's something we don't know because we're not going to know how he fits into that offense and what he's underutilized in that offense. And y'all just paid him all this money to not get the ball. So it's just poor financial moves by the Browns. I like the move when they made the trade for him, but just the extension didn't make sense right now.
Yeah. And if he balls out, it's a great deal. But if
Mhm.
not, it just looks stupid because especially you got Elijah Moore and Amari Cooper in their last season of their contract. So you really got to think about how smart you're being with your money right now, you know?
Mhm. Hey, let's go ahead and talk about some linemen that moved too. So we got Chase Young going to the Saints. We have Arik Armstead going to the Jaguars. We have Tyron Smith going to the Jets. You know, the Jets boosted up that offensive line, which they really needed help on. And Tyron Smith is one of the best left tackles in the league whenever he is healthy. That's a big win because he's almost never healthy. But Chase Young to the Saints, I feel for 1 year for 15 mil, that's a good deal for Chase Young for that Saints defense. That defensive line is going to be pretty good, really good because you got Cam Jordan on the other side, and then you got Chase Young. You know, I know if I was you, I would have wanted to pick up Chase Young because you
Yeah.
know a young guy, high upside, low risk. But now it looks like you guys have to try to make a move for Jadeveon Clowney because after all those other like those trash D pass rushers that you guys picked up, you guys need
Delaney
someone like
Caseland,
Clowney
bro.
now.
Oh my goodness.
But how do you feel about
Hey,
any
but
of
we
these
did get
moves?
DJ Wanham, which is pretty good.
Hey, how do you feel
But
about that Chase Young to the Saints though? Because I know that's a division rival. I know you gotta feel feeling some kind of way.
yeah, bro, I was kind of sick, but then at the same time, right after he signed, he was like, "All right, y'all, I'm about to go have neck surgery," and he won't be back to like training camp. And if that like that's neck surgery, so like he might not even be like for real, 100%. So it's like he just basically robbed them. And Saints fans were so mad. And I would have been mad if he would have done that to the Panthers, you know? I'd
Hmm.
have been like, yeah, we just signed him for 13 mil, and then he gonna go out and not even be with maybe not even be with the team during the regular season. But I mean, hopefully he can get healthy in the right amount of time. I'm not the type to wish injury on anybody, but for him going to the Saints, I was actually sad about it. And I was like, literally anybody else. Like I didn't like it didn't have to be the Panthers, but literally anybody else.
I
Like
feel you, bro.
please. It's like just a random good defensive guy just going to the Cowboys, bro. You're just like, okay, this is cooked, you
Hmm.
know? And it's just it was just sad. I was like, bro, please, bro. Just let me lock in. But I want to talk about another offensive lineman that signed today, Trent Brown,
Oh yeah, with the
which
Bengals,
your
right?
deal with the Bengals, yeah. And it's exciting because this offensive line is massive now.
Hmm.
They got what's it called, Trent Brown and Orlando Brown. Both of them are 6'8", and that man Burrow is gonna have some time in the pocket this year. Hopefully, he can stay healthy. Then they got some massive offensive linemen on the interior too. You got Cordell Volson, 6'6", 315 pounds. Ted Karras, 6'4", 310 pounds, and Alex Kappa, 6'6", 310. And I'm just thinking to myself, the Bengals, the AFC North is going to be a fun division again this year.
Bro, the AFC
And
North is always like the best division in football.
and
So
another guy we have going to a different team, Justin Fields. And I really wasn't expecting him to go to the Steelers, but this was kind of a low risk, high reward for them already having Russell Wilson. He's 25 years old and has already proven that he can play at NFL level, at least I think so. And I think he also fits into the style, the run first offense that the Steelers have. And this was already a playoff team before he even got there. So I think with him and Russell Wilson, they could switch out whenever. But I think this team can solidly win 11 games at least. And to get him for a conditional late round pick is insane value, no matter if
a
he sits behind.
conditional sixth that could go up to a fourth round.
Like, that's insane. And to think, even if he sits behind Russ the whole year and Russ says, okay, my 1 year's up, I don't want to be in Pittsburgh anymore. Look who's right there who just sat behind Russ for a whole year, Justin Fields. This is going to work out for the Steelers. And what are your thoughts on it?
Bro, I couldn't have explained it better. I think this is the best case scenario, because they were saying that the Justin Fields market was really low, and
Yeah.
then the only other team that was close to making a deal was the Philadelphia Eagles to bring him in as a backup. So this is definitely the best case scenario for Justin Fields as a player because first off, the Steelers already improved at the quarterback position because Russell Wilson is already a massive upgrade over Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, and Mason Rudolph. So this is a team that has never gone under 500 with Mike Tomlin at as head coach. So bringing in Russell Wilson already secures them like I feel like that secures them a playoff spot no matter what. And then you get Justin Fields, who's already a really good quarterback, who just hasn't had the opportunity to show off the best of his abilities because he's been in Chicago. Chicago's not a great organization for him. He's been in Chicago for the last 3 years. So I think Justin Fields, the best thing they can do, and they probably will do, is they're gonna have Justin Fields sit behind Russell Wilson for a year.
That's what
Russell
they should
Wilson,
have him
an
do.
arguably Hall of Fame level quarterback who has been to a Super Bowl, multiple Super Bowls, who has a Super Bowl ring, and he's that veteran presence that Justin Fields needs to learn from. He can learn behind Russell Wilson. He can learn how to improve his game, learn what mistakes he had made and what mistakes he shouldn't repeat. And then that also lets him heal his body because Justin Fields has been playing banged up for so long. He was playing banged up last year, but he continued to play because he's trying to prove his worth to the Chicago Bears. So now he'll get a real chance to stay healthy, to learn a offense behind one of the best head coaches in the league. So I think that this is the best case scenario because then afterwards, after this year, I don't think Russell Wilson will re-sign with the Steelers. I think he'll sign somewhere else. And then after Russell Wilson signs somewhere else, they'll have Justin Fields there, who will probably be worth less money than Russell Wilson would be asking for at that time. You could sign him to an extension, and Justin Fields can be legitimately your quarterback for the foreseeable future, right? I don't think Justin Fields is a bad quarterback at all. I just think he was put in a bad situation. I think putting him behind the Steelers on a run heavy team with some solid weapons like Mike with like George Pickens and Pat Fryermuth, you'll have a really good team that's set up for success. And you have two good running backs lined up too in the backfield. You have Najee Harris and Jalen Warren. This is just a great situation all around. And then the Chicago Bears, they honestly, I think they got fleeced. Conditional six for playing time. And if he plays more than 51% of the snaps, they'll get a fourth round pick. Y'all aren't seeing that fourth round pick.
At
Justin Fields
all.
not playing this year.
At all.
So y'all are getting a sixth round. So like Justin Fields just for a sixth round is I think is a fleece. But yeah, that's what I think about that situation.
Yeah, bro, and couldn't have explained it any better. Just the Fields points. I'm just so happy because I'm an Ohio State fan, and I know for him packing up. Well, as an Ohio State fan, him packing up and going to Pennsylvania isn't the best thing for Ohio State fans because everyone don't like Penn State.
Hmm.
But I mean, for Justin Fields, it's a really good opportunity for him, and I get it was either Pittsburgh or Philly, really. But I just wish that Carolina would have got him his rookie year, bro. And I'll always stand on this. If Fields would have went 3 instead of Trey Lance, they probably would have won a bowl by now. And
Yeah,
I'll
probably.
stand on that because they would have developed Fields heavy.
Hmm.
But
Also, other quarterback moves. Kenny Pickett has went to the Philadelphia Eagles to be a backup to Jalen Hurts. You have Sam Howell going to the Seahawks. Jimmy G is going to the Rams. And I think and then you have Josh Dobbs signing with the 49ers. So out of all those really backup options, which backup option do you like the best?
um, I think um, I think I'm more of a fan. Actually, I want to name someone who you didn't say. Actually, I like Drew Lock to the Giants.
Oh yeah, Drew
And
Lock did go to the Giants.
I I say that because I think Brian Dabble is a good coach, and I think he
Hmm.
can develop a quarterback. I just think it's too late for I think it's too late for Daniel Jones.
Drew Lock will
And
be the starter by the end of the season.
yeah, most definitely. And whenever Drew Lock went to Seattle, you've seen how he kind of progressed into his time in Denver. Because you got Vic Fangio in Denver, it just wasn't good for Drew at all. And then you go with Pete Carroll, not necessarily the best coach, but a better coach than Vic. And he's just having I won't say the season of his life, but he progressed from all of his years. And I think
Hmm.
Brian Daboll's just the right coach to kind of lead Drew Lock and kind of getting
Unlock that potential.
yeah unlocking that potential. And Drew Lock is a guy who can I think he's a solid guy at quarterback. You've seen him. I remember y'all played that game against Drew Lock and he got the game winning drive on y'all. I won't bring that back up. I won't bring that
On
back
y'all, on James Bradbury,
up.
on y'all.
But I think the way he throws the ball, he can definitely reclaim a number one quarterback job, and he's young enough for the competition too. So I'm thinking that's one of my favorite moves. So, and he's only 27. I know he's about to be in his either sixth or seventh year,
Hmm.
but I think he definitely does well with the Giants because the one thing about the Giants, they will start another quarterback this season.
Hmm.
So, what about you?
I think my favorite move is Sam Howell to the Seahawks, just because Sam Howell did not play bad really last year. He just wasn't put in this best situation. I mean, he was the most sacked quarterback in the league. So when you have an offensive line and you're this is your first year starting and you're getting sacked the most in the league, you're not really set up for success. So I think him going behind Geno Smith, and then Geno Smith is getting up there in age, and he has I think 2 more years left on his extension. This
Mhm.
gives Sam Howell a little opportunity to learn behind Geno Smith, who's been playing really well the last few years. And then Sam Howell, I think he has a really good chance at being that starter whenever Geno Smith's contract is up or Geno Smith starts playing bad or Geno Smith gets hurt. I think Sam Howell will have a good chance to be that starter in Seattle. Because that Seattle team doesn't really need to go out there and get a quarterback anytime soon. Because I think Sam Howell was good enough to start for them. Because they have a good running back. They have really good wide receiver weapons. They have a pretty decent O line now. Their
Yeah.
defense is really good. So I
They
think
went out and signed a lot of vets, bro.
So I think that Seattle situation is the best situation for Sam Howell right now. It's definitely better than what he was in Washington.
Hmm.
And kind of a shame that they're giving up on him so early. But when you have the quarterbacks like Drake May or Jaden Daniels available to you at 2, it makes sense why you're moving away.
Yeah,
But I really like that Sam Howell said the Seahawk trade.
bro. It makes me so mad how the Commanders took away Frankie and Jeremy from me, bro.
Bro,
I was
you're
so
like at
sad.
least you're like if we don't get rid of Chin, as long as we keep Frankie, or if we as long as if Frankie's gone, as long we'll still have Derby Chins, he'll be okay. Both of them are gone
That's
into
literally
the
what I
Commanders.
said. And both of them go to the same team. And bro, at least it wasn't as bad as me waking up from a nap and realizing Curtis Samuel is on the Washington Commanders.
bro, bro, it's always the Commanders with you, bro.
Yes, bro, it's literally the Carolina Commanders. It used to be the Carolina Bills, bro. It's like we just got mutual interest with teams. We'll be like, we'll
Mhm.
trade you off this, we'll trade you off that, bro.
Then they're like, RD Lions straight. Brian Burns will be back, and then we'll have him paired with Derek Brown again. So RD line will be okay. Brian Burns gets traded to the Giants. That defense is really just done for, bro.
Bro, we still have a hero Vero, bro. One of the best DCs in the league. He's gonna have us lock in, bro. I'm already knowing.
Bro.
If we get a defensive lineman, if we get a good defensive lineman in the draft, Chop Robinson, Carolina, we need him. But if we can get a guy like that, I'm excited for us. I think this defense. I mean, we're obviously gonna take a step back because we don't have these
Mhm.
setting stone guys. But if we can just at least do something with it, I think we'll be straight for sure.
Before I get over to the next set of free agents, how would you feel if y'all gave away your next first round pick? Because you have a first round pick next year, right?
Yeah,
You
we.
give a next first round pick and like probably like another late round pick to trade for T Higgins because T Higgins is still on the trade block. He's still looking for a trade right now. So how would you feel about that?
I wouldn't want to give up my first for him. I ain't
You
gonna.
wouldn't want to give up a first for T? I think that'd be a good little trio
No.
though. T, Deontay, and Adam Thielen as like a slot. I think Adam Thielen would be a good
Uh,
third
I
receiver.
wouldn't want to give up a first for him just because you see how trades are now. Like no one's getting traded
Mhm.
for first anymore, and I blame Deshaun Watson because this man, the Browns traded away like what three
Three
first rounds for
firsts,
him,
yeah.
and that literally ruined almost everything because it was like no one's really worth that anymore if this
And
doesn't
then the
work out.
Broncos gave up like two for
Yeah.
Russell Wilson.
Yes,
Yeah.
bro. And it was just like if this man isn't worth it, then really who is? And I really like it really hurts me now because we just talked about the Judy situation, getting paid
Mhm.
58 million not to do anything.
Mhm.
T. Higgins is gonna want like 70.
70, yeah.
Like, come on, bro. I don't even know if I can do it. And we got like what's it called? 46 million in dead cap space off like the seven players that left our team. So we still got guys we got to pay, and I I'm not gonna plan. I do want T Higgins on my team, but
Mhm.
not for a first.
And
So
also don't forget, the Niners are looking to ship out Brandon Ayuk
Ayuk,
too. I heard
yes,
he has mutual interest on getting a deal done with the Steelers.
I
He
saw that.
get
He
paired
over
up
here.
with his
He over
twin.
here. He over here talking about he twins with Mike Tomlin, bro.
Bro, he's talking about
If they end
they
up
look
getting him, that would be crazy.
bro, for real. If he goes bald too, bro, it's gonna be two Mike Tomlins on that field
Bro,
at the same time.
someone get them for tampering, bro. Someone get y'all for tampering. Getting Saquon, bro.
What
Yeah,
are you talking about, bro?
yeah,
Nah,
bro.
nah,
So
nah,
someone need to investigate that for real, for real.
bro, nah. They gotta investigate what's it called? The Bears, bro.
They
The
gotta,
Bears, bro. They
bro.
signed Swift in the first 13 minutes.
True.
They signed TJ Edwards in the first 11 minutes last year. Like
Mm,
something fishy going on over there.
some kind of fishy,
All right, let's
but
talk about some linebackers though. We got Eric Kendricks. This is the first signing, the only signing so far that the Dallas Cowboys have made. It's been like a week and a half. Bobby Wags to the Commanders, pairing up with Frankie Louvu over there, and then we have Devin White to the Philadelphia Eagles. So, which
forgot
one
he
do you
was
think
an
will have the
Eagle.
biggest impact on their
Oh
team?
my. Um, I'm gonna say, that's hard.
I'm gonna say Devin White just because our linebacker core has been weak for so long. Even though
Yeah,
Devin White is not like he did get benched last year and he's not the best in run support, he's still a massive improvement over all our linebackers that we've had. So, like I feel like that's gonna help our offense. I mean our defense a lot, especially with that Vic Fangio defense that likes to rush four and have drop him back in pass coverage a lot. I think it'll really fit. He'll fit within the scheme.
yeah, bro. I think so too. I think it's definitely a toss up between Bobby and Devin White because I think the guys that Bobby's playing with, I mean, you still got De'Aaron Payne on the team, you still got Jonathan Allen on the team, you just got Frankie Louvu, you got Chin. I mean, you let go of Cameron Curl, but you got Jeremy
Replace
Chin.
him, yeah.
Yeah, you replaced him. But then you just think like the guys he's surrounded with, you might not have to do as much, what might make you like have a better impact on the team
Hmm.
because you just do what you need to, do what you're told. And then if you're always where you need to be, whenever you need to be there, you're gonna be set. You know?
Hmm.
Which is why I think Bobby might have the edge, but I mean that Vic Fangio defense, as you were saying, might be good for Devin White, bro. I'm excited for it.
And the last three signings I want to talk about before we go ahead and get to the next thing is we have Joe Mixon getting traded to the Texans. We have Aaron Jones going over to the Vikings, and then we have C.J. Garner Johnson returning to the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not sure if we talked about C.J. Garner Johnson about last week, but we're gonna bring it up this week for sure. So my favorite thing, obviously, C.J. Gardner Johnson's
After
back in
everything
Philly.
he said about Philly,
Look. He apologized. He apologized. And he has that dog mentality that we needed on that defense. You know what I'm saying? That's something we were really lacking in last year. If we had someone like CJ Gardner Johnson to really motivate the defense like he did the year before to bring that type of energy, like that energy he brought to the NFC Championship with the Lions, waving bye bye at Debo. You know they ended up losing and blowing that lead. That's the kind of energy you need on the team, bro. You need a dog like that.
they
So
need me on the
I'm
team,
happy
bro.
he's
No
back,
cap.
huh?
They need me on the team if they need that energy. Hey, bro, just go ahead. Just go ahead. Pay me a couple dollars. I ain't gonna ask for too much. So just something slight. I'll hype up the team, bro. No worries.
Yeah, bro. I'll hype up the team too, bro. I don't need nothing crazy. Just give me a 4 year,
You
$45
you
million
do
dollar.
not, bro. You do not need to be given no halftime speech, bro.
Bro, look. All I gotta say is put me in. Oh, wait. What do you mean? I gave great halftime speeches, bro. You heard me
No,
playing.
you
We're
didn't.
playing Madden, bro. I'm hyping up the team,
No.
bro. I'm a great coach, bro. You know what? Look, bro. Sign me. I'll be corner, bro. Remember when we had Michael Jaquette? I'm better than him. I can do better than that, bro. Look. Michael Jaquette got cooked for like 130 yards. I'll only get cooked for like 110. So you're
You're
saving
getting
20
cooked for
yards.
more, bro.
I'm not getting cooked for bro. I'll be all right. I get away with my holds. They don't call it my holds.
Bro, you're so good.
But hey, Aaron Jones to the Vikings, bro, signed with them for a 1 year, $6 million contract, or no, $7 million contract. The Green Packers were only offering him. They're telling him to take a pay cut, which would in turn only leaving him to get paid $6 million. So he got an extra mil going to the Vikings. And I feel like he definitely could have got more money if he went to like the Texans or if he went to the Cowboys. But I think that he went to the Vikings purely out of spite to the Green Bay Packers for doing him dirty. And I love that. I love that.
I do too, bro. We need smash mouth football in here, bro.
Mhm.
We need real rivalries. We need pure hatred in football.
Bro, I don't really see no real rivalries between fans and the players that much anymore. The only time I see it now is really in the NFC East, the AFC North. You know, that's really it. I don't really
Yeah,
see it
bro.
much in any other team. They don't really be getting at each other's necks. Like, and the only other teams really I see it with is Tampa Bay and the New Orleans Saints. Not the whole division, just those two teams. Especially Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore. It's my favorite matchup twice a year.
Yeah, bro. And even with that, bro, the matchups weren't even that crazy this year for it. And I just also think like throughout these teams that have these rivalries, bro, I'm just hoping we like I said before, we just need more Smash Mouth football. Like I'm trying
Mhm.
to see more stuff from the NFC West, bro. Like the West Coast, I thought y'all was all supposed to be going crazy at the games, bro. I
Mhm.
be seeing whenever the Raiders used to be in Oakland, you'd see
Mhm.
people in Oakland like crazy pre games. Like you'd be like they are here yelling. Everybody's in their black and silver paint, bro. It was literally and so you got everyone yelling at each other. Like my dad went to a Dolphins versus Raiders game one time. People out here fighting outside the stadium. I'm
Woo.
like, game ain't even started yet, bro.
That's what we need.
Literally, bro.
We don't need no more senseless violence. We just need more regular violence.
Literally, put that on the regular, bro. Yeah.
But let's go ahead and get into the March Madness. I don't have much to say over the topic. I didn't make a bracket, but that's not important right now. I want to get your thoughts over the March Madness teams. Who you think's going to be in the Final Four? Things kind of like that.
So yeah, brackets are officially open since the what's it called? Since yesterday, I'm pretty sure.
2 days
And
ago when this is dropping.
2 days ago, yeah. So me and Jerry's made our own brackets. They'll be posted on the social soon. But as of today, the first four teams that are getting in there actually played. And the teams that won were Wagner, Tarleton State, ACU, and Colorado State. The Colorado State Virginia game was so ugly. Watching Virginia play, like watching Virginia run an offense might be the worst thing like you could ever think of. Like you could go to the rec, those guys could run a better offense than Virginia. And it's actually sad. But tomorrow we're gonna have or the day this drops, we're gonna have more games playing. It's gonna be Grambling versus Montana State, Fort Wayne versus Bowling Green, Alabama A&M versus Austin P, and Colorado versus Boise State. And these games are also gonna decide who makes the tournament. And guys, I have in my final four. I made two brackets. I have one with UConn winning the whole thing, and I have one with UNC winning the whole thing, just because they're my guys. And in the final four, where I have UNC winning the whole thing, y'all might call me crazy, but I think they're gonna make the final four again. I have San Diego State in it. They're gonna play UNC. I have UNC winning it, of course. And then in my South Midwest semifinal game, Houston versus Tennessee. I think if Tennessee can get past Texas in the second round, which I know some people are kind of skeptical about, if they can get past Texas, I think they'll make it far because after that, they don't play too many like crazy teams after that. I just think Texas is a solid team. They don't let up too many points and they don't also score too many points. Though I feel like they're just right in the middle of their seventh seed. So it really just depends on how they play. And in my other bracket, I have UConn winning that thing. And in my final four, it's all high seeds, but I got UConn versus Baylor. And Baylor, like I was thinking like in the Elite Eight, I have Mississippi State also in the Elite Eight playing Baylor. And I'm just thinking, I don't know, man. Like Mississippi State, I feel like could beat Baylor. Baylor's had some good games this year. I just think Baylor will pull it out. So I got UConn versus Baylor in the semifinal. In the South and Midwest, I have Houston versus Purdue. I really don't want to see Purdue in the Final Four because, like I said in the beginning of March, I think Purdue is a bunch of frauds. Y'all can blame me. I probably don't have them. I don't think I'll have them losing first round. I'll definitely have them losing second round though. And I want to put some sleepers in there too. I think James Madison, JMU, has a real shot at getting past Duke. And I know like that don't scare Duke at all just because they're a blue blood, but I feel like JMU really got some hoopers on this team. And then one of the other teams I have for a sleeper, McNeese University. This team went 30-3 this season. Wasn't even afraid to play major competition out of the conference. They ended up playing. They beat VCU. They was it called? They played Michigan. I forget if they beat Michigan or not, but they got a good offense. They protect the ball. They make almost 40% of their threes, which is seventh in the country, and don't turn the ball over that much. I'm pretty sure they're sixth in the country off that. So I'm really excited to see what March has in store for us. And I know my bracket's cooked day one, but I'm excited to see. What about you, Jaden?
Yeah, man. Like I said last week, I'm not really familiar. I don't watch a lot of college basketball, but I didn't make a bracket. At my final four, I have UConn, North Carolina, Houston, Tennessee. And the team I have really winning, and not for like any reason, because I'm not really familiar with any of these teams. But I'm going with Houston. I've seen that's a really popular choice, and also being in Texas, I had to represent a Texas team, so had to back them. But sleepers, I saw Nevada, and I really liked what I read up on, what I seen. From what I seen, that their strengths were they're really good, a really good 3-point shooting team, which is really good because you need that high scoring capability from a team. and they're really good at avoiding fouls on the defensive end, which is also really good because you don't want to give the opponent any really free attempts at the basket, with the free throws and things like that. And then their biggest weakness though is their defense. Even though they are really good at avoiding fouls, they have a really low turnover rate. So and stuff like in that 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 situation. So but what I've seen is from Nevada is that I really like what they bring to the table. And I feel like if any like team that's really a lower seeded, even though they're not really that low, they're a 10 seeded team. I definitely think that this Nevada team could make a pretty good run.
Yeah, most definitely. And teams that also like are pretty good that y'all might see in the Final Four. I want to give a shout out to these teams. But before I say this, one of the teams I have is Arizona. And when I tell y'all, North Carolina and Arizona in the Elite Eight is going to feed families. It's going to be such a good game. Hopefully, both of these teams make it there. I also want to put Creighton in the Final Four too. This team's been lighting it up all season. Just an underrated team that's a pretty high seed too. They've always been solid at basketball, so I'm honestly excited for it. I think I'm gonna still have UConn winning the whole thing. I'm excited for Iowa State too, number 2 seed. And I just really don't hope Purdue makes it, bro. I didn't see one bracket where some dude had St. Mary's in the Final Four too, and I was like, I don't know about that one. But like, I know some people be making their brackets, and it's just like, brother, I know anything can happen, but this isn't happening, you know. But
Mhm.
I just think I think UConn goes back to back if it's not UNC. I'm really hoping it's UNC. I'm in my Carolina blue right now. So yeah, y'all know the deal. So um that's about all we have for this episode. And hopefully y'all been rocking with us throughout this whole episode. We talked about some crazy stuff going through the NFL, NBA, March Madness. We are ready for it. Giving y'all news throughout these weeks. And
And this episode is dropping pretty late, but we do have good reason, and we'll talk about more of why it's late on Friday's episode. So you guys have to tune in to figure out why this episode was late. But let's just say Jalen did something pretty exciting,
I
the
did,
last couple
bro.
and the last day.
I did, bro.
So
Y'all gonna hear about Friday's episode, but as of right now, thank y'all for tuning in. We are J Tendencies, and we will see y'all next time.
all right, see y'all.